In this video, we are going to talk about applications and installing applications on Linux. And before we begin, I want to mention that all the code and the presentation can be found on my GitHub page that is linked in the description. And if you find my videos useful for you, please like them and also consider subscribing if you want to be notified of when I add new videos. So to talk about software on Linux, we have to talk about packages. Software or programs on the Linux operating system is encapsulated in packages. And a package is actually an archive that contains the actual program, additional files that the program uses, and also metadata about that package. The closest thing that I can compare packages to in the Windows world are MSIs. So if you know, on Windows, most software can be installed using an MSI file that is standard and that contains all the files that the application needs and all the commands that it should run for the application to work. And packages on Linux mostly do the same thing, but I have to be honest, on Linux it's much more easy and much more reliable to install software than on Windows with MSI. I said it, it's out there now. So let's continue. We have packages, but in order to install them, we also need a package manager, which is a program that knows how to read packages and what to do with the files. And in the Linux world, the two most used package managers are dpkg, that is used on Debian-based operating systems like Ubuntu, and RPM, which is used on Red Hat-based operating systems, for example CentOS. So that was the basic info. Now let's talk about how to obtain packages so we can install them. The first option that I will present is actually one that you will not use very often, but I want to talk about it. One way to get packages is by actually downloading them like normal files, either using the browser or using the curl command, for example. And after you download them, you can install them with the dpkg command. But the reason why you will not use this method too often is because if you use this method, you have to be careful to also get all the prerequisites for a specific program, because the dpkg does not know if a program has prerequisites or not. So you yourself have to do the research, download all the prerequisites that the program has, install everything, and then install the program, which is not very fun. And since we are discussing about packages and package files, I just want to mention that on Ubuntu, the extension for a package is deb, and on CentOS, the extension is RPM. And now we get to the method that you will use 99% of the time to install packages, which is to get them from a repository. But dpkg or the RPM tool do not know how to connect to a repository, download packages, and so on. That's why they have front-end applications on top of them that do all these complex operations. On Ubuntu, the two applications that you can use are apt and apt-get, and on CentOS it's the yum utility. So how do these front ends work is they connect to a repository, they get the package and all of its prerequisites, then install everything in the order that the installation should happen, and also of course then you can uninstall or do whatever using these tools. But the idea is that these tools take care of all the complex stuff like prerequisites, but under the hood the installation itself is done with dpkg or with RPM. It's just that all the complexities of knowing which prerequisites a package needs and so on are done with the front-end tools. And let's talk a little more in depth about apt and apt-get, and then we will get to the code and actually see how to install software. So on Ubuntu, you have the choice to use either apt and apt-get as frontends for dpkg. Now both of them offer all the basic functionality, so you can use apt or apt-get, and 99% of the time you will do the same thing with them, so you will not miss any functionality. It's just that apt-get has some more advanced functions that apt does not have. But I'm pretty sure during a normal day you can get by with using apt and you will not see anything wrong with this. And before we go on, also an important thing is that with these tools you don't just update the software, but you can also update the kernel and the OS. So now let's see a couple of commands that you can use for your package management operations. The first command that I want to show you is apt-update. And with this command you actually update the cache that apt has locally on your system. This means that you will get information about all the newest versions of packages or any new packages that have appeared in the repository on the internet. And you have to use sudo to run this command. And you see that it got 18 megabytes worth of data. And one more time I want to mention that this command does not update any software, it just updates the cache with software information. So at this point now we have all the latest info about package versions available in the repository. So we can run the following command: apt list upgradable, and it will show us all the packages that we can upgrade at this moment that have outdated versions. And here is the list. The green part is the package name itself, and you see that we have a couple of them. So let's go on and upgrade all the packages. And this is done with apt upgrade, and we need sudo for this, of course. And it will show us all the packages that will be updated and asks us if we want to continue or not. You can add a -y to the command to not ask you. So let's press Y. And now it will start downloading and installing all the packages. This will take several minutes, so I will be back when it's done so we can continue. And after a little waiting for it to finish, we are done and all the packages have been updated. Now let's move on and search for a specific keyword so we can find new software to install. And this is the command that you would use, apt search, and then enter a word. I chose Pico, which normally is a text editor that is very lightweight. And it will search through data about the packages and find everything that contains the word Pico in the description. And I'm pretty sure if I scroll to the top of the list, I should find what I'm searching for, which is this. Let's install this package. And to install it, we will use the following command: sudo apt install, name of package, and I will put -y so I don't get asked if I want to or not. So we just run the command and it was that simple. It downloaded the package. As you see here, this is the package that it got from the repository and it placed it locally on my hard drive, and then it installed it. Now, since we don't actually need this program, let me show you also how to remove a specific package. And this is done with apt remove and package name with sudo in front, of course. And I didn't place a -y, so I am masked if I want to, and I do. And now the package has been uninstalled. Also, one thing that you can also do, in this case it's not useful, but I will show you the command. You can use apt auto remove to remove any unneeded dependencies that still remain on your system. In my case, it shouldn't find anything, and it didn't, but it sometimes happens that you install different packages that have dependencies, and when you uninstall them, the dependencies remain installed, but you don't actually need them. This command will solve your problem. And one more thing to mention is also this apt show alpine pico. This is a command that shows you details about a specific package from your repository cache that is stored locally. And you see it shows you the package name, the version, and a lot of other things. And this is why it's important that every time we want to install a package, that we first run this command so we can get the newest metadata about all of the packages in the repository. Okay, so that was it for using apt. It's not very complicated, you can use it, install whatever you want, and so on. Now let me also show you how to work with dpkg and with local packages, because there will be times when you will need to install packages that you have on your hard drive directly with dpkg. First, let's list all of the packages that we have installed right now on this system, and it's done with dpkg -l. And you see here the list, and it's already paginated, so let's press space. And you see it goes through the pages. If you find what you're looking for, or if you don't want to look anymore at the list, just press Q. And we are out. Because a much more useful thing to do is to search for a specific package with a wildcard. So you see that now I want to find everything that contains Linux image in the name. And this output is much more readable. You see that we have two images here, for example. Let's quit also this. And once you know that you want to get info about a specific package, we can use this command to show us the contents of a package. So you use dpkg -l and package name, and it will show you everything that package contains, like if it is a zip file. And you see it has a lot of files that it copies to different places on your hard drive. Now another way of using the package is somewhat in the other way around. So if you know that you are using a specific program but you are not sure with which package it has been installed, you can use dpkg -s and the path to the application or to the file, and it will show you that it's part of the bash package. So now that we know the package, we can get the package info, for example, bash, the version, and so on. Next, let me show you how to install a local package. First, let's download something very quickly, and I will use the curl command for this. And you see that I have downloaded a file that I named asm.deb. And now let's install this package. And to install packages with the package, we just specify -i and the package file, and of course sudo, because we are changing the operating system. And the package has been installed. Now to uninstall it or to remove it, also using the package, we can use --purge and the package name. This time we have to give it the package name and not the package file name, so the name that the package sees it as a package that has been installed. And you see it here, the first line when it starts installing it. And now the package has been removed. And with this also the video is done. We have seen what packages are and how to work with them, either using dpkg or using apt or apt-get. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.